It's about that time of day again here, boys and girls. Newsletter time. JJ here. SchoolOfTrade.com. SidewaysMarkets.com is our blog address. Tonight's newsletter is December 3rd. It is a Wednesday evening, the third day of the 12th month of the year 2014. We are cruising through this first week of the month. We got non-farm payrolls right around the corner. Boy, today was a pretty incredible day, huh? Very exciting day. Had one of the best days of the last few months in our trade room this morning. Hope you guys did well as well. If you took my advice and continue to stay short on these markets, we got pretty much everything we were bargaining for. I thought we'd get crude to go a little bit further down to that 67 area, but I guess we can't be perfect every night. Boy, I could go on and hear about this evening, but I want to make sure we remind you guys, before we jump into our charts tonight for the newsletter, I want to remind you guys, make sure you're watching this video on our trading blog at Sideways Markets. If you're watching the video on our YouTube page, there's a link right below the video that'll take you over to our blog. 3 reasons why. First reason, I have all of my charts ready to download here for you guys for tomorrow. So all the charts I'm going to show you tonight, including some bonus charts, will be available for download, including everything else we talk about right by following that link below the video. Second thing, upper left-hand corner, I have a free pass for all the guests out there. If you're not a member of School of Trade and you'd like to see what it feels like to be a part of our trade room, we have a great free trial here at School of Trade, and we also would like to give you a free pass to come out and test drive our live trade room and see what it feels like to be a member. Upper left-hand corner, free pass. Lower left-hand corner, we have a nightly newsletter mailing list. All I need is your name and your email address, and now you never have to worry about missing another newsletter. I'm going to send you an email once that newsletter is published. Now, guys, if you take the free pass or you register for our newsletter mailing list, just be aware I'm going to email you to verify I have the right email address and that you're not a robot. All right, guys? So download today's charts, grab your free pass, register for our nightly newsletter, and please do so carefully, right? Do so carefully here. All right, let's wrap up here, JJ. Let's get going. Helmets on, seatbelts fastened, and we start this evening here with the GC, the gold futures. Now, as we can see here right now, we've got gold setting up for a short ahead of Friday's non-farm payroll, just as expected. I mean, literally as expected. Last night on the newsletter, we talked about the fact that we were trending higher, right, up to the highs. We overshoot the channel by a little bit. We pull back into the range. Here's exactly what I said last night, right? So we knew that we probably weren't going to just get the collapse, but now we have part number 2 completed up to just above the high. And if you recall from last night, this was exactly what we had anticipated as we set up for a nice big short. Now, obviously, I'm not going to predict. I'm not going to hope this thing goes lower. I'm going to be looking for those buyers to fail tomorrow morning, and so we can get this baby to sell off here back inside the range. Now, here's the deal. We got non-farm payrolls on Friday. Gold futures, yeah, I'm going to go out. I'm going to say it's pretty much the worst of all the markets as far as consolidating and really getting quiet ahead of non-farm payrolls. You might see the E-minis do the same thing. Crude's definitely not going to worry about too badly, but we definitely know that gold will get sloppy. It'll get low volume. It'll get illiquid before that non-farm payroll number on Friday. We'll talk more about non-farm payrolls tomorrow, but gold typically, 48, 72 hours ahead of that big news report on Friday morning, we're going to start to see everything consolidate. So we really have 2 options as far as I'm concerned. I just, for the life of me, I don't see us pushing out of this range. I don't see any big catalysts coming in. We got the ECB tomorrow. I don't think we're going to hear anything different out of their mouth tomorrow. And even if they do say something different, it may jump it up for a little bit, but it will usually come right back. The way that I see this is going to non-farm payrolls, gold's probably going to take some shelter, right? It probably will. So I see shelter either being back at 1,200 or being back somewhere in the middle of this range, right? That's the 1,200 will be the easy guess, right? The big round number, the break-even point for the mining industry, yada, yada, yada. But if we don't stop at 1,200, I'm definitely going to be looking for that collapse back into this range. Might get it, might not. Non-farm payrolls, in my opinion, really is the big variable. I was hoping we'd get a push lower after we hit that 1214.7 this morning, right? Got a nice big jump up, and right where we're at right now, we're sitting right at that resistance, and we're just teetering here, right, on the top of that range. So again, option number one would be we keep going and have a buyer's target up here at 1244. Unless the ECB comes out and says something crazy tomorrow morning at Thursday morning was it 8:30 tomorrow morning, something like that. Unless we hear something cuckoo out of the ECB, we're probably going to end up going right back to 1200, and then I'm going to be looking for that collapse here, right, to get it back into that range. Again, like I said, tough to tell here ahead of non-farm payrolls. We're going to do our very best. Moving to our 16 anchor chart now here on gold, we can see gold trading in consolidation. We can easily see pretty much a symmetrical triangle here right now. It's not really that bullish or bearish. Now, clearly, we've got the bulls on our side right now, long term, medium term, and short term. So clearly, the bulls are in more of a control right now. But again, we got the top of that sideways range sitting right there. And so all it would take here is a little bit of a push. Again, I don't expect us to get much out of this until non-farm payrolls come and go, unless we hear from the ECB tomorrow morning something crazy out of the blue. So right now, what I would recommend is continue here to sell the highs, continue here to buy the lows. But just a word of advice, though, when you go to buy these lows, definitely be careful because you've got that 1200 right here, right? There's your 1200 right there. So if we can get down and buy these lows, don't get too greedy, right? You're going to go back to that 1200. Don't put too much risk on this because, again, remember where we are, up near the highs of that range, right? So if we can't keep going, right, we're probably going to collapse back in. As of right now, consolidation on gold up at the highs. That means buy lows, sell highs, and avoid the middle. If I had to guess right now, I would stay focused on selling at the highs and, of course, holding that runner down into that range at 1181.4, 1172. Last but not least here, on the price action chart for gold, this one really tells a good story. In my opinion, this one really tells the best story here, and that is we can see we had the bulls in control. Right? The bulls were in control pretty much all day today, but now they've started to fall apart here, right? And whenever we see the bulls lose control like this, we know they're going to try at least once. They're going to try to get that price back up to that high again. Okay, think about what's happening right now. You've got uneducated traders that are getting to this market and they're saying, ooh, wow, we've got this big bullish move. We should be a buyer down here, right? So you're going to see that those bulls try to push this thing up to that high, expecting a retest of that high at 1215. Sorry, that's a misread right there. That should be 1215. Little fat finger there. So we got the expect the buyers to retest the highs at 1215, and if the buyers fail, be ready for those sells. All right, that's what the price action tells us right now. So it goes right along with what I said earlier. Keep looking to sell the highs of this range, and you've got, again, looking for it to go up. If we fail, we should see some good selling opportunities. I've got targets waiting for you down bottom, right? And you can see those listed right here. You can download all those charts, of course, by following the link below the video this evening. Moving forward here, onto the Russell. Here's my 32 anchor chart. Not a lot changed on this chart. Still get a sideways trading range. We're still selling the highs, buying the lows, and we still see we have that megaphone pattern here as well. Now, I personally don't care what direction I trade in right now. If I had to guess, we're clearly bullish in the long term. So if I had to guess, I'd be looking to buy these lows, right? Get a nice support level down here. So we got the trend line for the megaphone pattern. We get the buy zones here, 1120 key support. I don't think we get that far. Here's another market that will definitely be acting a little bit funky before non-farm payrolls. Not as bad as gold, but you can definitely see, though, this should be relatively easy. Sell those highs up at 95s. Buy those lows down at 39s to 45s, right? Stay away from the middle. So right now, where are we right now? We are right in the middle of that range on the Russell. So we really got to be careful. We do expect to see some sloppier than typical price action in the middle of this range right now. Buy those lows, sell those highs, and avoid the middle. Now here's an interesting chart. Here now we take that trading range that we found, right? Here's that, kind of picture this. Here's that megaphone pattern, right? There's that megaphone pattern from the 32, and you'll notice we are right in the middle. Now, we didn't quite get to the extension target that I called last night up at 83.1, just barely missed it. And you can see here the bulls are definitely in charge right now in the short term. So we have a couple options. And what I'd like to do is let's play the game, what if price goes higher, lower, or sideways? What if price goes sideways here tomorrow? If price goes sideways in the middle, we're going to be quick to pick up on that. We're going to mark the highs, we're going to mark the lows, and we're going to look for traps. We're going to look for breakout fades, and then if we do see a breakout continue, then we'll follow that direction. So be careful tomorrow. If you see this thing going sideways, I'd be very, very timid being the first one to buy the highs or sell the lows, right? Wouldn't recommend it if we open the door tomorrow and we see us going sideways, okay? You'll know it. It's going to be screaming at you. You're going to see flat moving averages, double tops, double bottoms, things like that. If we go sideways, treat it like a sideways market. Buy lows, sell highs, avoid the middle. What if we go higher? If we go higher, I am definitely looking to sell this 1190.8 down to 1186.4 area. That is a definite area I am looking at right now. But obviously, if we go higher here, we're looking for a reversal at 1183.1, looking for a reversal at 1190.8 to 1186.4, and then I don't think we'll get there tomorrow, but who knows? If we get up to those highs at 95.8, we'll definitely be looking for a price reversal followed by a sell. Remember, I'm not going to blind sell these resistance levels. I'm going to wait for the price to get to the resistance levels, and then I'm going to look for my reversal trigger. I would love to teach you the reversal triggers. Come and join me tomorrow in the trade room, and I'll walk you right through what we'll be looking for to get into that reversal off of those resistance levels. What if price goes down? If price goes lower, we have a little bit of a buy zone here. We got the 72.9 to 70.6, got a reversal line here at 71.7. So, in all reality, that could end up being the range we trade in here ahead of non-farm payrolls, right? If we don't get much personality tomorrow, be aware that may become your range from 83.1 down to 71 or 70.6, right? That may be your trading range here going forward. As we pull back, though, if we go lower, we'll definitely be looking for a buying opportunity at 71.7, a buying opportunity here at 67.2, and if we do go all the way back down, a buying opportunity at those lows at 58.4. Remember, right now we're right inside the middle of this range, so expect some sloppy price action on Thursday from the Russell. Price action time. Russell price action. So, buyers had complete control today, right? It's pretty easy to see. Buyers had pretty much complete control today until the end of the session, and they couldn't finish the job. Now, here's what I see. I see we had an overshoot here just about the end of the morning. We had the breakdown and the failed retest. Now, if you're a member of mine, you know exactly what I'm talking about because of our price action strategies and our scalping strategies that we teach you guys here as students. So this little code I'm talking in right now should have no problems. If you need any help, though, let me know. Come back tomorrow morning in the trade room, and I'll walk you right through where my rationale is on this. The bottom line is the buyers had control. They overcooked the trend going higher, right? Got a little bit aggressive there going higher. They failed to now retest the high. You get a beautiful reversal candle up there at those highs. Nice big wick. Okay, only thing better would have been if it closed red, right? But it closed green on us. So it's really not as bearish as it looks, but it's a very good start to the move back lower here. And basically at this time here, I'm looking for selling opportunities as long as we do not test that 82.5 level in the overnight session. So what I'm expecting is, I'm expecting these buyers may try it again, right? But if they can't go back and test those highs at 82.5, right? If we see it kind of stumble a little bit, we're probably going to get a nice easy run down to 75.4. And then if we can get below that, if we can get below that, we got targets here 72.3, targets at 65.4, and the reason why I chose this target here at 72.3 is because it looks like we got a bunch of consolidation right here, a bunch of big wicks, overlapping candles. So I would highly encourage you to kind of front run that area right there, right? I would encourage you to take some profit off there at 72.3 and then see if it can get through that consolidation. If it can, go down to that 65.4. All right, guys. Again, I would expect, though, here right now in the Russell, I would expect price to go up a little bit here. Try one more time, and then look for that first leg down, guys, right, when we break that channel. All right, guys, looking good on that. As always, come and see me tomorrow. I'll walk you through it in real time. Last but not least, certainly not least, we've got crude oil. Boy, was this market fun today. This market was fun, and it was a Wednesday today. I'll tell you, if I could have Wednesdays like this every day, I would be a very happy crude oil trader. Usually we don't get very easy moves after the inventory. Well, really anything on Wednesdays, right? It's always a little bit of a guessing game because that self-fulfilling prophecy that kicks in. Everybody knows it's going to be a little more difficult on a Wednesday with inventories. So, but today, though, was relatively easy, right? Wasn't hard. If you took our advice and you stayed to the short side on crude, it was easy. We saw it go right up to the highs of the range this morning and then collapse right back down. So crude oil trades inside the current range we're seeing right now, right? This is the same range we've been at all week here. We gave you guys the call to sell the highs. That was late last week, early into this week. And then now here we are up off the highs, and now you can see we're just consolidating here right in the middle. So right now, the best option is going to be the same thing we've been talking about here for the last week or so here on crude. It's going sideways, so stay patient, wait for price to go up, and then smack it right back down, right? So as you look overhead, I'm definitely keeping an eye out. I'm going to zoom in on a faster time frame and show you some areas to sell on the short-term range. But in the long term, though, I'm selling the highs of the range. I'm selling the 70.78, 73.25. I don't think we're going to get there ahead of non-farms. But I do think, though, that if we do get up there, be ready for the selling opportunities here on the crude. We're going to continue here to sell those highs. So now we move from a 32, cut that number in half to a 16 anchor chart now. And what do we see? Now we get a very easy to see illustration here of just how range bound this market is. This is called a descending triangle. Pretty much a triple bottom, and we've got lower highs, right? So basically what this tells me is that as we're going lower, the lows keep holding, but the buyers that are reacting to that low keep getting weaker and weaker. And this will, unless we get some external stimulus, right? Today we heard from Saudi Arabia. Today Saudi Arabia came back on the news wires and said, we are okay with $60 a barrel. Okay, why don't we just put a target on that right now? So is it too early to call it? Is it too early to call $60 a barrel right now? I think it is a little bit too early to call it. But I'll tell you right now, Saudi Arabia, they did not get to where they are as being one of the world's leading oil nations by being dumb. They know exactly what they're doing. Trust me. If they didn't want crude going to 60, they wouldn't have said 60. Trust me. Okay, these people do not go onto the news wires like they did today and just pick numbers out of the sky. We know what their strategy is. They're trying to run the small hands out of the market so they can control the production, the supply of crude oil for the next 10 to 15 years. It's easy to see what they're doing. I'm looking forward to that big bull run once they start increasing interest rates, right? Think about this for a second. The middle of 2015, I know it's far away, but I want you to think about how this ball is going to bounce here. Saudi Arabia says we're okay with $60 a barrel. So I can't predict it, but it's almost, I want to say guarantee, but I could easily see us being at $60 a barrel by the second or third week in January. Easy. Don't believe me? Go look at what happened last week, right? Go look at what happened last time there was a holiday for a week, and you tell me if you think that we're going to survive the week of December 20th, right, through 31st, right? Yeah, exactly. Well, the cat's away, the mice will play. So I can easily read between the lines right now, anticipate price doing exactly what our good friends in Saudi Arabia told us that might happen, that shakes out all the weak hands in the market. All the smaller producers can't survive. They close up shop. It drives the shale industry in the U.S. right into bankruptcy. And now the big oil-producing nations, guess what? Now they got us by the way, you know where, right? Absolutely, don't they? So what happens now? They drop their output. The demand stays high. And guess who else comes in? Janet Yellen. Well, Janet Yellen and the crew at the Fed. We already heard last week we're right on track for the middle of 2015 to raise the rates. We're going to have a possible perfect storm coming into the middle to the end of 2015. Now, I know that's a ways off right now, but you can see this whole ball kind of starting to pick up steam right now. And from what I heard from Saudi Arabia today, it looks like other nations are starting to pick up on this as well. All right. Now, obviously, that is some pie in the sky. We may have a tremendous bull rally for energy prices in middle to late 2015. I don't know when it's going to happen. I can't be exactly correct about where and when it will happen, but that's what it looks like from what we've heard of the past few weeks here and what we've seen here in the price action. So we are going to stay to the short side right now on crude. We keep selling the highs of the range. That's all we need to keep doing. So as you look at this, don't overthink this right now. Okay, get a descending triangle, keep looking to sell at these highs. Now today we found a bunch of kind of midterm highs, right? We end up selling these highs today right back down. So remember, I'm going to give you guys the easy levels, but you're going to see some interim intraday highs here that you can sell tomorrow morning as well. And as always, if you want to get more info from me, just come out and see me tomorrow in the trade room and I'll give you info in real time. Okay? So we know that we're looking to sell. Whatever you do right now, do not sell the lows, right? Do not try to sell into that support. Let's play that game if price goes higher, lower, or sideways, right? Get a consolidated range here. What if price goes sideways? If price goes sideways, bring it on. Find the highs, find the lows. Do not touch those lows. Sell those highs, okay? Price goes sideways, define the sideways range, and trade accordingly. If price goes higher, you know what's going to happen. It's going to feel like those bulls are in complete control, just like it did today and just like it did on Monday. Today and Monday were almost carbon copies of each other. Late in the morning, we make a little bullish run, the bulls run out of gas, and the price collapses 11 o'clock till 1 o'clock Eastern time, right? It's been relatively easy, right? The script has been like out of a movie. So we know as price goes higher, just when you think, oh boy, the buyers took control, yeah, get ready to sell. Okay, I always know I have the best reversal point when it feels like I'm going to get my head ripped off. Okay, it does. When it feels like I shouldn't be selling, remember, what comes natural to a human being is unnatural to a trader, right? What comes easy to a human being is usually the polar opposite of what we should be doing. Okay, so when you feel that little twinge in your stomach and you go, oh, I can't sell right here, wait for the reversal pattern and sell it. Okay, we go up, we're going to sell it, go up, we're going to sell it. So if we go higher, we're not going to blindly sell it. We're going to look for a chance for the reversal pattern and the trigger to go back down. Capiche? Now, let's keep going. What if we go lower? The tough part here is we go lower. If we go higher, it's easy. If we go lower, though, it's going to be a little difficult. Whatever you do, don't buy the first break of that low. You're just asking to donate your money to people like me, right? I would not sell that low. What I would do is I would mark up the low of this, wait for some other poor sucker to sell that low, wait for it to retrace, and then we're selling short down at targets 65.40, 64.97, 63.72. Okay? So price goes higher, look for the reversal and sell it. Price goes sideways, look for the highs and sell them. Price goes lower, do not sell those lows. Sell the retracement at the lows of that range. Classic scenario here we have on crude. All right? And if we happen to go to 60, well, don't forget who gave you the tip off. All right? I'm joking with you. Now, final here. Price action time here on the crude. As you can see, crude oil trading sideways. You can easily see that range. You can easily see that trading range right now. We get a bearish long-term trend, so that tells us to sell the range highs. If we go lower, sell the retracement to the range lows. Whatever you do, do not sell those stinking lows, right? Don't sell those lows. Well, you can do whatever you want, but not if you want to make money consistently. So what I'm looking for right now is I'm looking for pretty much the exact same thing we saw twice today. It was easy, right? And, of course, you saw it, right, 3 times the lows. Now, buying the lows are going to be a little bit less, productive than selling the highs because of the long-term trend and the overall market sentiment. If you do decide to buy the lows, just nibble on it, right? Little scalp trades off the lows, going to get really sloppy back in that middle. But basically, we're going to buy the lows, sell the highs, staying focused on selling the highs. And if we happen to make a run for this thing, okay, I've got sell zones overhead here. We've got 69.32, 68.65. I've got 68.23, right? And then, of course, at the high of this range, okay, we'll call that, what do we got, 68 or so. Okay, so as price goes higher, we're selling it. Now, if I can get into a short up at the highs, this is very important. Make sure you take some profit at the low of this range and then try to hold the final portion down to that 66 area, right? 65, 95, right? We'll call it 66. Okay? So as we go higher, looking to sell short. As I go short, I'm definitely taking some profit off at the lows of that range and then trying to do my best to hold on to it all the way down to 60, right? That's the plan. That's the plan. We'll see you at 60. Okay. Guys, wrapping up here on Crude. I want to thank you guys for being here, part of this newsletter here today. We've had an incredible week. It's been relatively painless. It's been pretty easy profit here so far this week. And I'm pleasantly surprised. Coming out of last week, I really thought this week, since we had such a bloodbath last week, while no one was paying attention, everyone was filling their face with turkey, right? I thought we might have a little bit of a analysis paralysis, kind of rebalancing day today. But, well, as you can see, it's been a little bit sideways, but it's been extremely easy to make some profit of it intraday. Guys, news for tomorrow. Nothing here to worry about tonight. Tomorrow morning here, though, all eyes and ears are on Europe. We get the ECB announcement tomorrow morning at 7:45. What's going to happen is they're going to give us an announcement tomorrow at 7:45 a.m., but then you're going to see the news, the press conference at about 8:15 a.m. That's what you're waiting for tomorrow. The actual announcement's not going to have much of a market impact. What will have an impact is when we listen to Draghi tiptoe around all these really difficult questions he's dealing with right now. They have a horrible situation they're trying to mess with right now in the ECB, so I can't wait to see how the reaction is to what he says tomorrow. Hopefully he puts his foot in his mouth, freaks out, does something crazy, and we get some big moves tomorrow off it. We shall see. I got 7 a.m. from the BOE. I've got the ECB at 7:45. We got jobless claims here. Honestly, though, I don't think anybody's going to be paying attention to the BOE announcement or the jobless claims. The problem with jobless claims tomorrow is that they don't even include the amount of information being reported in the non-farm payroll report. So I just don't think anyone with really any intelligence tomorrow is going to be even looking at the jobless claims tomorrow. It'll be something of interest, but I just don't see it acting like it normally would a Red Star News event. All eyes and ears at 7:45, and again, like I said, I would assume 8:15 tomorrow morning, right? I would assume 8:15 tomorrow morning would be the case here, okay? So be ready tomorrow morning early in the U.S., and then come join me tomorrow in our trade room, and I'll walk you through what we're seeing in real time, right? We'll take a look at those markets again. We'll update our charts. And guys, don't forget, download the charts today, grab your free pass, register for the nightly newsletter mailing list, and if you happen to stumble over here to SchoolOfTrade.com, join our free trial. You can watch our orientation video on the homepage, and you can get more information about our 3 levels of membership. And don't forget, we've got someone standing by here 24/7, 365 to give you a hand. All right, guys? How we do today? I would love your feedback. Would love your constructive criticism. Let me know what we can do better. Let me know what we do great. Let me know how we can improve. Post a comment below the video. Send me an email, jj@SchoolOfTrade. Contact the office. Join the trial, and we'll see you guys tomorrow morning in our live trade room, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Same bat time, same bat channel, boys and girls. Hope you're having a great week out there. It is raining cats and dogs here in Los Angeles. I won't complain because it's better than snow. But if you guys are dealing with the bad weather right now, stay warm, stay dry, and stay on the right side of these markets. Come see us tomorrow. My name is Joseph. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye for now.